welcome back to another video. Welcome to our little hotel room in Paris. We are currently on a holiday in Europe. We've never been before. It's been really lovely so far. And essentially, I'm popping in here to begin this vlog because on this channel we have a tradition where every year on the week of my birthday I film a week in my life. It's been going since we lived in Tokyo and I was an English teacher, and every year I document this one week of the year. However, this week is a very wacky week because obviously in Paris, not a normal thing. So we're going to Norway, then we're going to travel back to Australia, and during the traveling we lose a day because of the time zone thing. We're on a plane for like 17 hours, so it's kind of like 2 days in one, and then we come home and then it's my birthday. So anyway, today is Friday, technically it's Saturday in Australia right now, and we're going to be kicking off this week in my life while traveling around. Today is our main day in Paris. We only really have 2 full days here, but yesterday we were at Disneyland, and then beyond that it's been an amazing trip so far. Like, we started off in the UK, we were in London, which was amazing. We saw so many friends there were so many beautiful bookshops. We were in Edinburgh as well. We did ghost tours. That is a very beautiful, very haunted city. So we've been traveling for like a week, just over a week at this point. We have our main day in Paris. I'm going to take you around on this lovely Friday. It's a little bit gloomy outside. It's probably going to rain later, but hopefully it'll be okay. We've been walking like 20 kilometers a day every single day, so the both of us are a little bit tired and we have not had breakfast yet, but I've picked out a croissant place which is very well rated. We're gonna go grab some croissants for breakfast and then go to Shakespeare and Company bookshop, which I'm really excited for. We went to Shakespeare and Company bookshop, which I was incredibly excited for. Now the rule here is that you're not allowed to film inside. I might be the only person who actually listened to that rule though, but anyway. This bookshop is an English language bookshop which opened in the 1950s and was named after the original Shakespeare and Company bookshop that was opened by Sylvia Beach in 1919. The original was frequented by James Joyce, Ernest Hemingway, Gertrude Stein, T.S. Eliot, and other members of the Lost Generation. The building was built in the 17th century and was once a monastery. The whole thing is a little bit touristy, but I loved it. The bookshop was far bigger than I thought it would be, and it was very labyrinthine. I got the tote bag, of course, and picked up copies of Wild Sargasso Sea and Madeline, and then we headed off to go look at a quirky variety goods shop that I found from a book back in Australia. Saturday. It is currently 5:42 a.m. and we are about to fly to Norway. We have to go to the airport and then take a transfer to, I think Amsterdam is where we're going, and then up to Bergen because we couldn't fly directly from Paris to Bergen. Yesterday we got absolutely soaked in the rain coming home. We walked from the Louvre through kind of Champs-Élysées to the Arc de Triomphe and then to this park across the river from the Eiffel Tower, but as we were getting to that spot it just started pouring with rain, so a bunch of our stuff is wet. We've been trying to dry it. It was a massive day yesterday. I think we did like 40,000 steps. It's like 30 kilometers we walked, and I'm gonna be taking a decent nap on these 2 flights. I'm just gonna listen to music and zone out because I am very tired. We're just gonna quickly eat some breakfast and then finish packing up and we can go. If you don't have a mirror next to your PowerPoint and you need to use a hair styling product, you can use your tablet as a mirror. Today is our main day to explore Bergen and I'm very excited. We're going to be going on a boat trip along the fjords. There was actually supposed to be snow this week and then the weather forecast changed and it didn't snow. The very top of the mountains have a little bit of snow left, so I'm hoping we can at least see some ice and snow and stuff when we're on this boat ride. It's gonna be very cold actually, so I have a beanie. I'm gonna be wearing like 14 layers. And after that we're gonna come back to Bergen and then climb the mountain, which is Fløyen, I think? I don't know the name of it. I'll have to ask Tyler in a second. Bergen is absolutely gorgeous so far. It is so beautiful. The architecture is very cute and colorful. I love the way that the colors of the houses like seem to be distributed. Like every now and then there's a warm yellow toned house, and we were talking about this. I was like, do you have to apply to be a yellow house because they're only every now and then, or is it just that the people who want yellow houses are just perfectly randomly living in these places so that they feel evenly spread out? I don't know. Yesterday was lovely and I really enjoyed it and I'm so looking forward to today. I'm gonna finish doing this as quickly as I can and then we're gonna go on this boat ride along the fjords, which is gonna be very cool. I am sufficiently layered. We've got thermals, we've got, this is like made of wool, this is in case there's any sea spray. We should be hopefully very protected in case it's cold on the boat. And then hike or maybe take the cable car depending on how much time we have up Fløyen. Hopefully see like a little bit of tiny bit of snow up there because we can see it like from the town. There's a tiny bit left. It's gonna be lovely. It's our last main day in Bergen And then we have quite a number of hours tomorrow in Bergen as well, but then we fly out at like 7 p.m. so we're going to be wandering around before our flight. Huge! There's an albatross-sized seagull. So since we've come to Norway, we've learned a little bit about these trolls, and the context is that they're a part of the local folklore and that they live in the forest and that they and the people of Bergen don't really get along, and if you see smoke in the forest it's going to be a troll. And they were telling us about the trolls during the cruise we went on this morning through the fjords. This is magical. The hike to get up to the mountain was really lovely. There was moss everywhere, there was waterfalls. Obviously, because it's the first week of March as I'm filming this, all the snow is melting, so all of the mossy cliffs were just dripping with melted snow, and everything is so beautiful here and it's just lovely. Oh my god, there's smoke in the distance now. Maybe that's a troll. We've done the two main things we were planning to do today. We went on the fjord cruise, we've hiked Fløyen, the mountain, and now we're probably gonna go get dinner and like explore the town a little bit more. This actually does remind me of Japan a bit. We're climbing down a Kobe? Today is Monday, we've just come back from breakfast. I've always completely lost track of the days of the week at this point. I'm pretty sure it's Monday. Today is our last, like half-ish, a little bit more than half day in Bergen. We're gonna be flying out to London this evening. We're gonna stay one night in, like next to Heathrow Airport. Initially, we were going to fly directly from Bergen to London to Perth, back home to Adelaide, but we started to get a little bit worried that we were cutting it a little bit close because they weren't connecting flights and all this stuff. stuff. So essentially we ended up deciding to fly into London, stay overnight, and then get up for our morning flight and do it that way to make it a little bit easier. So we need to check out soon. All of our bags are packed, everything's ready to go over there, and leave our bags with the hotel and just go explore Bergen for a little bit. A bunch of places actually weren't open yesterday because I think this is true for all of Norway, but it is at least for Bergen. Most places are actually shut on Sundays. Briggen, the really cute like old-timey houses next to the harbour, they weren't open yesterday. I'm gonna go back and have another look. We have a museum we want to go to today. It is unfortunately right now raining. We've had some really good luck though, because apparently Bergen is the rainiest city in Europe, and we had 2 days basically where there was no rain at all, and now there's a little bit happening, but it's supposed to stop soon, so fingers crossed it does. Adelaide is almost like the antipode to here. Like I think the antipode to Adelaide, so the absolute opposite side of the earth, is somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. I think right now being in Bergen, this is like the furthest away from home we've ever been, which is really cool from like an exploration perspective, but from the perspective of getting home, it's going to take many hours, and I'm realizing that I'm actually very jealous of people who can fly an hour or two and be in a different country, because if I'm back home in Adelaide and we fly like 6 hours north, you are still in Australia, you are still in the same continent. I'll probably check back in with you guys when we are home, because it's going to be a messy few days of traveling, so I will speak to you soon. So the rest of the week did not go as planned. I mentioned very briefly at the beginning of this video that we have a tradition here on the channel where I film the week of my birthday, and I've done this like every year since 2018, I believe. So it's been a really lovely thing to be able to look at what I was doing, you know, on the specific day of my birthday each year, how my life has changed. You know, I've worked so many jobs now. I was an English teacher living in Japan. I was a marketing assistant, a marketing coordinator, a content creator, a writer, all of these different things that I've been doing over the course of the last few years. And so naturally I was supposed to film on my actual birthday, but that did not happen. Now I am gonna share a little story time with you guys just quickly and tell you like what happened in the days that followed us getting on the flight home. But the TLDR of it is essentially I just got really sick, and it was a unpleasant experience. It was really shitty, but basically it kind of started on the flight home from Perth to Adelaide. Now I've been having some funny issues with my sinuses over the course of the last year. They've just like been really reactive, really sensitive, and I've been having this like weird reaction where if I go on certain flights, mostly domestic flights, the air pressure in the cabin is different. In a domestic flight versus international flight, they fly at different heights. I don't know. It's only domestic flights for some reason. It's a little bit weird and uncomfortable, but it's not that big of a deal until this flight from Perth to Adelaide. Now, Australia, as I said, is a big country. When we fly into Australia, we can't fly directly to Adelaide because it's too small. We had to fly into Perth, and then from Perth to Adelaide, it's like a 3-hour flight. And for this particular 3-hour flight, obviously super exhausted. We just had a really wonderful trip. Get on the plane, and then like as soon as we take off, I start getting the weird sinus feeling. And I was like, oh, it's okay. It'll just be a bit of numbness in my teeth. That's normally what happens when my sinuses start being funny on airplanes. But this time was very, very different. Basically, if I can describe the way it felt, my top teeth went numb. Like my top, like kind of like upper lip area all here went numb, because obviously your sinuses are in this part of your face. So if you're on an airplane and you're having sinus pressure, it can actually affect like numbness in your mouth. So like this whole bit of my face went numb, and then this whole bit, like so like my temples, behind my nose, behind my eyes, behind my forehead, felt like someone was drilling into my face. It was the most like intense pressure in my face, and because I'm an absolute baby and it was really, really painful, I just start crying straight away because it's like immediately very, very, very painful. And I'm on a plane. We didn't have any painkillers. There was nothing I could do except to sit there for 3 hours with the most intense like sinus pain all over my face, like all inside my skull, just crying. It's very dramatic, just crying from the pain. And obviously that didn't help, because when you cry, your sinuses are going to get like more pressure because of like the snot and stuff. So I'm just like crying and in excruciating pain for 3 hours on this airplane. And I think that the flight attendant saw me and took pity on me. I was like equalizing my nose every like 10 seconds to like relieve some of the pressure in my face and like in my ears and everything. At the very end of the flight, she was handing out Kit Kats to people, and she just handed me this stack of Kit Kats. I think she saw that I was crying and saw that I was very uncomfortable. So that was really kind, and that like made me feel nice. And so out of that, I got really sick. I got really sick with sinusitis. I ended up with a temperature. I ended up being just horribly ill for like the week after that flight. This is a photo I took right before. I don't really remember the past week. It was pretty bad. I took this photo at like 4 a.m. because I was trying to document the temperature I had. Didn't notice that the temperature didn't even get recorded in the photo. But anyway, I spent my 28th birthday very, very ill, sort of just like sitting on this couch during a heat wave in this very warm apartment with very bad sinusitis. I've been to a doctor. I'm fine. I am now getting better. Like I probably don't sound or really look that sick anymore. I'm mostly back to normal, which I'm really grateful for, but I do have some like sinus things I need to do, because I can still feel I still have awareness in my sinuses, and I am a little bit terrified of going on an airplane again because it was genuinely that painful. I think that is the maybe second most painful thing that's happened to me. Maybe it might be tied for third with glandular fever. I still have some of the fatigue and just feel like gross and a bit poorly generally, but as soon as I am 100% back to normal, I'm gonna have like a makeup birthday thing because I was so sick I couldn't go out and do anything. Thank you guys so incredibly much for watching this video. I'm sorry about the dysfunctional end. This was supposed to be the full week in my life during the week of my birthday, and I didn't get to share my actual birthday because I quite frankly don't remember my birthday. Fingers crossed that when I film this vlog next year, it's a little bit less dramatic. And before I go, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting my channel. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to make these videos. We have so much bonus content over on Patreon. We have our Discord server, we have our book club. I make bespoke videos over there. I do video requests. So if you want to support my work, or if you want bonus content from me, please feel free to check out Patreon. Take care everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.